Hi, everybody. Welcome to Basement Chronicles. And today we're talking about self determination. What is it? Can it serve you in your life ahead? And do you even have it? These are some of the questions. My name is Lisa Dublin. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me just go live on Instagram right now. It's just amazing that we have these abilities to go and to do different things. Like life is way easier where communication is concerned. And I'm happy to be in the communication field. Both as a life coach and as a speaking coach, I help people to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence. Because, like, the more I coach people, the more I'm convinced that this life is about having confidence, that the most confident people, they step out, they try, they fail, they succeed, they find a way, and they move on a lot more successfully than other people. So where's your confidence level? I do believe that it is also connected to your confidence and to your self-determination. So let's talk about that today. How are you doing? Let me say hi to Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Welcome wherever you're watching me from. It's really nice to have you here. By the way, a new episode of my podcast is out today. And you know what? Like, I listened to it. I always listen to it. This one is called the Master the Art of Speaking with Conviction. So I always listen to the podcast, once they've been put together by my editor. And this one's very consequential. I've decided, because I do the duality of life coaching and speaking coaching, that I'm going to bring that now to the podcast, so that once a month, every month, we are going to be speaking about getting you better as a speaker. It's something, especially if you are a professional, that you have to do. You've got to speak. You've got to speak up. You've got to be that person who people want to listen to, because you're doing it well and you're giving value and you have a message and you're confident and all of the things. And so in this episode of the podcast, I actually went into what I do in my Speak with Confidence program, talking about how do you convince people. Speaking with conviction comes from a deep place of belief in what you're saying. I hope you hear what I'm saying today, that I deeply believe in speaking confidently, and I deeply believe that I can help you to get there as well. And you're going to hear all of these great things. I'll teach you how to do it in the podcast. So wherever you get podcasts, you can go subscribe. Apple, Spotify, and if you subscribe to Basement Chronicles, there are so many reasons to do that, because not only is there the podcast on the Basement Chronicles channel, I've started in earnest now, and it's going really well. I've started interviewing immigrants on a Sunday. So if you subscribe to Basement Chronicles, the channel, then you get the updates, you get the notifications of when I'm going live. I love to give value. I don't have time for the fluff. Okay. No, it's value here. So you can rest assured that you're getting something that's well prepared, a valuable guest, an interesting person that you can learn from, particularly if you are part of the immigrant community. A special shout out to the Think community here in Edmonton. We are growing in numbers. It's like 700 plus people in one WhatsApp group. My God. My God. So if you do subscribe, then you can know we had this Lillian, my friend Lillian, a couple of weeks ago. We interviewed her, and also I think last week Sunday I interviewed a client of mine and someone who's doing great things in the world. Her name is Clarita Monroe. She was on the Sunday interview, and what I intend to do is really bridge Caribbean and African cultures. Find myself between the two, especially here in the city. And so we'll be interviewing, just alternating. This week, I have a special guest on Sunday. I am going to be interviewing Rihanna of the When African Women Talk community. I'm so excited. She's just beautiful inside and out. And so we're going to interview her and keep on going with the interviews, learning more about people who are doing great things in the immigrant community. Maybe we can even change what it means to be immigrant, because being immigrant doesn't mean that you're black, or being black doesn't mean that you're immigrant. All of these things kind of need to be addressed and debunked. right? Because the two things don't always go together. If you are joining me, please say hi. Hi. Oh my goodness, I see some of my folks here. Ambika is here. Oh my goodness, that's great. Thank you for being here. Let's talk a bit about self determination. What exactly is it? Do you have it? Do you even need it? And how can it serve you? You know where this topic came from? So I've been doing Speak with Confidence, my signature speaking program called Speak with Confidence. We're about to go into our ninth cohort. We started in 2021 or 2020, I think, and some cohorts have been smaller than others, and we've gone through different versions of the program. But here's the thing that has endured and blossomed, that people who go through Speak with Confidence, that 5 or 6 week program, it's now 6 weeks. Like I've settled, it's 6 weeks because we have a lot to do. It's very intense, it's very vigorous, and you learn a lot. People who go through Speak with Confidence end up having a confidence muscle, and they end up proving that how you do one thing is how you do everything. You guys know that? I think it's from Tony Robbins. He's the one who might have said that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And it seems to me that this confidence phenomenon, it just something catches in the program. At some point, people who come in to Speak with Confidence, they turn from, they just transform into more confident versions of themselves, not just in speaking. Hear me, that is the curious thing in my head. When I look at the cohorts and the people who've passed through, hardly anybody is in the same position. Lots of people have even moved countries. Lots of people have moved jobs, just done transformational things in their lives. And I'm asking myself, what is it that accounts for those things? Like, how is it that being confident in one area of your life, learning how to speak, how to present, how to stand up, throw your shoulders back, look at the world and give your message, and to do that with clarity and authenticity? How is it that you learn to do that and you actually find a thing, a confidence quotient, whatever it is, that you now transfer to other areas of your life? And like, I think, I'm just kind of looking at my clients, looking at the students, and trying to come to some kind of conclusion as to how exactly it happens. But I'm just saying to you that it actually happens. And it's just amazing. Hey, Sani, how are you? Good morning to you. Sani is actually one of the most recent graduates of Speak with Confidence. I'll be seeing her later this year, hopefully. So that's always good. But why did I bring up Speak with Confidence as a marker of self determination? Because now we started in 2020, this is 2025. And there were times along the way when it was especially difficult to do the advertising, the marketing, to go out and to get people into the program. And of course, there's always the work that has to be done. But I'm thinking to myself, and I want you to put yourself in your own shoes, like, what if I had given up? What if I had said, after week one, after week two, maybe in advertising the first time, maybe I had not seen the market for it? What if I had given up when it got hard? When, sometimes it was very difficult organizing students and the coaching. What if I had given up? If I had given up, if I had not done what my heart was saying, if I hadn't followed that dream of, hey, I've got a talent and I can teach people to speak with confidence. I can help you to do it because I myself do it and I'm in the game. I'm in the industry. I can help you to do that. That sense of self determination, of making my own choices and decisions, regardless of what other people say, or, just because, well, it's not really just other people. I have to be honest. Like, when we talk about self determination, I think for me, what's most important, check with God. Because, I always have this analogy: God made you. Okay. Now, here's the analogy: if you were driving a BMW, where would you go for you to get information on how to fix the BMW, how to handle it, how to drive it. Would you go down the road to the Hyundai dealership or the Nissan dealership? No, you would not. You would go to the manufacturer of the BMW. In the case of your precious BMW self, even more precious and valuable than a BMW, who made you? I always want to start with God. I always want to start with, what is He saying to me? What does He want me to do? How do I take what God is saying to me and then translate that into how I do life as an adult, as a human being? So I'm always going to start, even as we talk about self-determination, I am always going to start with, what is God saying? And once I decide on that, there are other things that you add to the mix, because I mean, you don't want to get ridiculous, right? That you need to ask God for things like, what should I wear today? Or do you like my, well, you can do that if you want to. But what I'm saying is that this thing of self-determination is everything. It's you checking in with the person who made you and knows you better than you know yourself. It is also you privileging how you feel and what you're feeling and what you want to do with life, having a sense of it that is free of the fetters of what other people say, of the control of others. There's a saying that the what I don't know, know if it applies, because it does point to a power imbalance. But here, I'll give it to you anyway. It says, the mouse dreams dreams that would frighten the cat. Not that you are, wherever you are in a mouse and cat situation, that there's a power imbalance all the time. Hey, Harriet, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Yes, I've been away for a while. I've just been thinking, I'm always just like in my head sometimes, like, do I do this? Do I not do this? And then I'm like, get out here, talk to the people, hear what the people have to say as well, right? So you can always in your head, and it starts there, that power of self determination. And sometimes we let people get into our heads, we let them rent space in our heads, and they're not even paying rent, but they're in our heads all the time. Somebody said to me that, your mind, that is prime real estate. You let nobody in there who doesn't deserve to be there. I say God in there, the people who matter, who speak into my life, and nobody else. Does that make sense? And Harriet says that Barbados is present in the house. Good morning, Barbados. How you doing? So this is self-determination, like that ability to keep on going, to have a gut feeling. Have you ever had a gut, like, you know what? I need to do this. No, this is right for me to do. And it especially came to the fore for me, I think, during COVID, because what COVID, I don't know, what the pandemic did was to show us that there were alternative ways to do life. For it took me, I think, a full 6 months to realize that it was possible to just come down to my basement, do the day job, and still have time left over to do the things that mattered to me, like build this business, get out of the rat race. Like, it's so programmed to do things a certain way that my job didn't really need me to be. I needed to get the work done as opposed to clocking the hours. And so I just simply began to morph into working when I was most productive, as opposed to when I was supposed to be working. A simple shift like that made me more productive. And it made me question how many of us are controlled from the head. Yeah, if somebody controls your head, your mind, they control your entire life. And so we've been programmed a lot of the time to do things, and we don't even know why. We don't even believe in those things. When, if you just ask the question, and I wrote down a couple questions, if you just ask the question, what if? What if I could do it this way? What would result? What if I tried to get a different result? That is the power of self-determination, of following your thoughts, your feelings, your reasoning, and believing in it and seeing where it would go. And Saniu says, I can really resonate with you with where ladies talk. It mattered, and I remain consistent even on days I did not want to. I love that saying, because like Saniu, And the same thing is now happening for me with Speak with Confidence. What self determination does is to give you tenacity. That's a nice word. You know the street word? Stickability. That is what self determination does. I'm going to leave that up, Sanyu. Thank you so much, right? Because if I believe in something, I have my North Star from within and not from without, I'm going to keep on doing it. And you know what happens? Like Sanyu, when you keep on doing something consistently, here's what happens. Are you ready for this? Like, I hope this inspires somebody this morning to keep on going, keep on being self determined until something breaks, until you see the light, until you see the possibilities, until the baby that you decided not to, the baby that you decided to keep and to grow and to nurture, that baby begins to mature and you see the possibilities. So, for example, I'm just about to like get merch for Speak with Confidence. We have a logo now, and we're becoming a community. That would not have happened without the tenacity of, hey, keep on going. Some years we had like one cohort, some years we had two. People came and left. All sorts of things happened. For the most part, it has been positive. And now you're seeing, looking and having a pattern to look at and to kind of glean from and to draw, information from, because you've been at it long enough. And I'm sure the same thing is perhaps happening with Saniu here. And Saniu you can go check her out on Facebook. I think you really should, you guys. There's a group called Where Ladies Talk. It started in St. Lucia, and now there's even a US chapter because she and her team have just kept at it so long. What about you in your life? Where are you self-determined, and what does it lead to? It leads to that baby maturing and you being able to make it mature in ways that would not have been possible if you did not go through the process. I always say, I'm not even sure why I say it, but it makes sense. No rocks without a river, no river without rocks. I don't even know if that is true, but it sounds good. What I mean is, you you kind of have to go through today to get to tomorrow. You kind of have to do 5 years before you get to 10 years. Know what I'm saying? And if you don't have consistency and tenacity, you never get beyond just the initial stages. When things develop is when, like, you've lived long enough to see synergies, to see what is not working, to see what you can add. The other thing about tenacity and about consistency is that it builds a certain level of comfort. So when you're no longer a novice in something, then you look at it with different eyes. Not so? Same thing in a relationship. That is why sometimes, hopefully, as a relationship matures, it is supposed to get better. That is why, too, you've lived with yourself for these number of years. And so the you were at 28 is not who you are at 49. And even though there might be physical changes, I know for me, I'm way happier at 49 than I was at 25. Oh, no, what? Yeah, no, I can handle my stuff now. Okay. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it is just that living and just doing life brings a certain competence with it. And that is what self-determination is supposed to. No, I feel like this is right. I want to do this. How do I continue doing it? Well, I need to change, because they do say that insanity is definitely doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it means, even though you have tenacity and you're self-determined and you have that doggedness, look, for example, what this guy did. There's a story told in Think and Grow Rich, that book, okay, that everybody should be reading. And it's the story of, is it Henry Ford? And he wanted to build like a one-piece engine or something. And he kept on saying to them, keep at it, keep at it. That's how the T model Ford came about. And they couldn't find the way to build. Hey, Clarita, good morning. They couldn't find a way to build this. And he kept on saying to them, I have a feeling that this can be done. Keep at it. And finally, with that doggedness, that persistence, his engineers were able to craft the thing that he his north star was, this is possible, and he commissioned them to keep at it until they actually got it. What is your north star? Where are you self-determined? And in looking at the topic, I want to move now to the practicality of it. How do you become self-determined? I was saying to somebody, like, I've never been the person to kind of figure what will people say, because if I did, I would not do a lot of things and I would do a lot of things that I didn't want to. And I no, it's just not going to happen. I'm very authentic. I respect everybody's right to be themselves. You know why? Because I deeply value my right to be myself, if that makes any sense. Okay? And so I thought about it, like, how do you become or remain self-determined, that person who takes decisions and um, takes actions from a place of freedom, from not being controlled. That person's not controlled by anybody, not what people say. And of course, to a certain extent, we all are influenced by each other. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that the self-determined person takes decisions from within first. That would be their first consideration, as opposed to what are other people saying? Can I do this? Can I not? So here are a couple of things that I came up with. How do you grow self determination? I think two things: spend more time with God and spend more time with yourself, more than you do with anybody else. No, I'm serious. All of this scrolling, all of this listening and consuming that we do every single day, what it does is to make you spend less time with the person who will tell you who you are, and with yourself, to know yourself better. And that's why we need boundaries where social media and all of the things we consume is concerned, because I need time to just hear myself. I need time to hear what God is saying to me, and to, like, there's a verse in the Bible about when you read the word of God, it says that it's like a mirror. It's, you see yourself, okay? And if you forget, it's like you see yourself in the mirror and you forget who you are. So the thing is that in in talking about God and looking into who he says you are, you get to know who you are. Like, you are this person, this is who you are. So the way to get self-determined is to get very comfortable with yourself, and is to privilege your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas over anything else that's coming at you. Yes, you will co-opt it. Yes, you will consider it. Yes, you're going to be guided by advice, because that same Bible does say that in the words of many, there's counsel. And so that if you're considering to build something, there's merit in getting advice. But at a certain level, many people do not take a step forward until people have given them permission to. I don't know. Those of you, Sani, you might remember this. During during the pandemic, it was a time of just thriving for me. I guess because I'm introverted, but it's partly, I think, God's timing. And I used to put out this, hey Rhonda, how are you? Good morning to you. I used to put out this little JPEG, this poster a lot during COVID, because I was feeling it so deeply. And it said, stop waiting on people to discover you. You be the person who spies yourself in the crowd. You be the person to give yourself the first contract. You be the person to create the first opportunity for you. Okay, now I'm taking it a bit further. I didn't write all of that. But you get the idea? Like, stop waiting on people to give you the nod and to give you permission to be. Because half the people themselves are waiting to get permission. So what are we doing? Give yourself permission to be. And there's freedom in asking. You know how you do that? You ask the question, what if? What if I could do this today? What if, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to say that thing. What if I didn't wait for people to say, yes, you can do that, but I said to myself, yes, I can. So I had this epiphany a couple days ago, sitting in a meeting. And like I'm big on mindset. I try very hard to believe in yourself and your capabilities, absolutely. And then also added to that is, like, don't hear the naysayers. Added to what Sandy's saying, you're going to hear people saying that you can't. Who do you think you are? Look, okay, yes, of course you're right to think, who do I think I am, because I think I'm quite a lot. And straight face when you say because you also have to give people the right to be a big on that. Be you, be your big self, your everything self. But please understand, it's not going to take away from my right to be. And here's the thing, and this is a shift, especially for immigrants. And I hope you hear my heart this morning. Okay. Um, I was sitting in a room and there was a ticker tape. You guys know what a ticker tape is? That means you know what a ticker tape. Let me put on my ticker tape because I got it ready this morning, and here I am not even showing it. So the ticker tape is when you have just running, like, for example, here you see the ticker tape at the bottom. It's running around, okay? Running around in your head, running around in your head, and it takes a lot to be in different circles, let's put it that way. And I found my ticker tape was, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo. If y'all think I'm not supposed, I didn't get the memo that said I was not supposed to be here. Do you guys think that's a good thing to say? I thought so. All this time, all this time, my memo has been, I didn't get the memo. So I go in like the bumblebee. The bumblebee does not know that it's not supposed to fly. Okay? But what if, and this was my epiphany, I'm sitting there listening, and just it was a powerful meeting with powerful women. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I didn't get the memo. And this thought comes to me, and I thank God. I attribute it to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is smart. I got a new word for the Holy Spirit, the smart Holy Spirit. I get this thought. What if you did get the memo? What if the memo is that you do belong? What if this is instead of, you see, when you go against the memo that says you don't belong, you have the memo that you don't belong. And so every action is almost like a defense mechanism. You're coming up against, oh, you thought I didn't belong, I'm here. You come up with a certain attitude. Don't you think so? Listen to what I'm saying. What if you change the ticker tape and you change it to I belong? I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. That makes it different. You show up in belonging as opposed to defending yourself against a memo that you didn't think you had, but you had because you're going against it. So it means you had the memo in the first place. What if you change the memo to I belong? I'm supposed to be here. That thought leads to a feeling of confidence and a feeling of belonging like never before. That feeling leads you to take a different kind of action. And when you do act, it's not on the defensive, it is on the offensive. It is on the, how can I be producer as opposed to consumer? How can I add to this? How can I also critique and be objective and not just be the person who's showing up as the token? What if I belonged? And that action of belonging and taking action from a feeling of I belong, the result is overwhelmingly more positive than if you're acting out of defense. I have a lot more to say on this because I've been thinking it over and over again. Let me remove that ticker tape now. I've been thinking about this over and over again because I think it's a mind shift that will result in greater things, even for me and for my community and for everywhere that I go. That the memo is now I belong. No, 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 no. It's not a matter of I didn't get the memo. No, that was the old way. The new thought that governs from now on is I belong. I'm here. I'm here and I belong. And that thought is more powerful than to say to myself, like I used to, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo. So I'm going to be like I'm the bumblebee. I don't even care, whatever. No, I belong. So there's a certain particularity to belonging. Okay, everybody, I'm going to stop now. So here's the thing. part of self-determination is doing what your gut says is right, of course, with the attending information and research, whatever. So tomorrow, if you are in Edmonton, let me just show you. This is happening tomorrow. We have some people registered. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. This is happening tomorrow, and this is the Pitch Perfect workshop. It is happening tomorrow. Let me remove that so you can see. There's still some spots available, so that's fine. Like I'm good with that. So if you are here, it's not very expensive, and I think next month I might actually make it a whole day affair. So you want to jump in if you just want to get that one-on-one attention of how to share your business with clarity and confidence. That's very important here. Okay, let me get back on here. So it's happening tomorrow, and maybe I should put the link for Pitch Perfect. There's still some spots. I'm going to close it off this evening tonight. So if you are interested, let me just copy that link. Jesus, hold on for me, you guys. If you're interested in Pitch Perfect, you can sign up still. So please do that. And oh, geez, it's not copying for me. All right, hang on. Control C. I'm going to drop the link in here. If you are interested, please go here and sign up. As I said, midnight, we close off so that I get the numbers and I do all of the things. Okay. So you can go sign up for Pitch Perfect. It's happening tomorrow. And that's part of being self-determined, right? That's part of like, I'm not waiting for somebody to say, hold a workshop. And I did. And actually, I'm going to be doing another workshop for a private company here in Edmonton as a result of putting out this work. They're like, hey, can you come into our company and teach our people how to talk about our business? So they're like, when you take the first step, people will quicker stop for somebody who is moving than somebody who's standing at the side of the road. Like, push your car. Start to push, and the help is going to come, and the links are good because people see that there's movement there. People like things that are going on the up and up. So you can't just be there, okay, I have an idea, who can help me with it? No. The dream was given to you, it was not given to anybody else. So it is your responsibility, as harsh as that sounds, it is your responsibility to make it happen. That's what it is. Okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget, check out the podcast. Okay, if you're here, please like and subscribe to Basement Chronicles, the channel. So that way you get the podcast, you get the Sunday interview, you get the notification when I go on live, and you can get inspired again and again. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow right here on Basement Chronicles. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to be self-determined. Bye.